We are live and we are going to talk about the crypto markets rebounding. We're also going to be talking about the Trump stimulus that is going to greatly help the crypto markets, Bitcoin. And of course, we're going to talk about some of the FUD and the big game today. Go Hawks. I'm really excited. Anyways, welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto every single day. I'm WendyO. Make sure to smash the like, subscribe, drop a comment, share. You guys know the drill. We saw a lot of volatility that happened in the crypto markets last week. And Bitcoin dropped to about $60,000, which was pretty scary, especially for people that are brand new to crypto. Like if you see this type of price action, it's really scary. A lot of people kind of don't like to come into crypto when they're seeing this negative price action because it's like, oh my God, everything's dropping so fast. And that's what we call FOMO. It's fear of missing out. Well, reversed. It's like some reverse psychology. And we always see people generally buy Bitcoin and crypto at the top because they see number going up and they want to be able to get in. That's the FOMO. But the reverse FOMO is when numbers going down, people don't want to get in crypto and Bitcoin because they're scared that they're going to lose money. But in reality, that's when you want to get in or at least start paying attention. We don't do financial advice on the show. I don't give you guys targets. I don't do any of that because I think that you're smart enough and intelligent enough to make good decisions based off of information you find on the internet, by coming to my channel, by going to other people's channels, by fact checking me, by doing due diligence yourself. So I put out a live stream for you guys yesterday, kind of explaining what happened with IBIT, with BlackRock, with Morgan Stanley, and how this is just really one massive big circle jerk. The information we talked about yesterday was incredibly complex. And I had to do quite a bit of research to get that information, but it had to do with a lot of these entities and options getting into the market. So I actually had to read a prompt to you guys because I'm still learning this stuff myself, but I'll read some of it again. The dump from approximately 100,000 to 70,000. Dealer hedging triggered by structured notes linked to iShares IBIT. And it's shown in a Morgan Stanley document for dual direction auto callable notes issued in October of 2025 and it matures in 2027. We saw $10 billion in volume for the I want to say for the Bitcoin ETFs, spot ETFs, and 434 million outflows total. So again, there's 10 billion volume worth of trading, but we saw 434 billion worth of, 434 outflows, and then just for IBIT it was 175. Okay, now incredibly complex information. I'm going to continue to educate myself on that. I want you guys to educate yourself on that. And if that information is true, because again, there's a lot of people going back and forth. This blew up, this is what happened. But if this ends up being true, this information is true, along with some of the stuff that's happening in crypto, we could attribute the massive dump to 2025 to that as well. And then yesterday too, because now we've got big institutional money coming here, which completely changes the game. Now, since institutional money is legally allowed to enter to the crypto markets, we have to start playing by their rules if we want to make money. One of the things I talk about on this channel a lot is grifting ethically and legally within the constraints of the law. The public servants do this. The hedge funds, TradFi, people with money, what they do is they will hire good CPAs, good attorneys, good advisors. They spend money to understand how the law works. And they will operate within the constraints of the law, maybe not ethically, but they do it legally, and that's how they make money. And I always advise people to consider that mindset. People that have capital and they have money, that's what they do. And you should be able to do it too. There's no reason why you can't do that. And the great thing now is we have AI, and that's going to help a lot. So we're going to talk about the Trump stimulus now, the massive stimulus that could potentially impact the crypto markets. Because again, since we're starting to fully get integrated into traditional finance coming in, hedge funds and whatnot, anytime we get economic reports, that impacts TradFi for multiple different reasons. So we're going to start to see, the markets react differently. As of right now, we're still operating on a 4-year cycle, and how that has to do with Bitcoin mining economics. And with that being said, when Bitcoin drops substantially like this, it causes a lot of turmoil for miners. Bitcoin miners are needed to keep the network on. And if they get knocked out or their productivity goes below to where they can afford to keep their miners on, they have to shut them off because it's a business thing. But with the Bitcoin collateralized loans that we've seen now, even in last cycle, that helped miners a lot, change the game. But we can get these volatile drops. If you take out a collateralized loan against Bitcoin, there is a liquidation mark. And if you don't have enough capital to add to that position, to lower the price as price is dropping, they can get knocked out. Not only do you have to pay tax on that, but you lose all your Bitcoin. So things are starting to get a lot more complicated and a lot more interesting. The synopsis, all right? Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this post here that came out. So this is from the Cobb letter. You guys know I like the Cobb letter a lot. It's very easy. It's very concise, easy to understand. So they says, we now have U.S. president with a $100,000 price target on the Dow stock market. So they're basically saying, hey, we want to pump things up. We want things to go higher. That means more money's flooding in. When you have more money flooding in, and you also have these Bitcoin spot ETFs, the crypto spot ETFs, Solana, Ethereum, XRP, HBAR, all of those, money can flow through those as well, which will essentially help the bottom line. Now, the money doesn't directly flow into crypto like we're used to seeing, because again, the ETFs is like it's like an IOU, like a paper. It's just like a paper one. But what it does do is it forces, when you have more liquidity coming in and more demand, does force the institutions to actually buy that asset, because it has to be backed, but they buy it differently. So they might not buy it right away. Great, fine, fantastic. But it will help the markets. And you have to understand, crypto is less than $3 trillion market cap. Just gold and silver combined are worth $41 trillion. And I'm not even talking about the rest of the stock market. I just wanted to bring up those true precious metals. I have that stat in my head. Now, new Fed chair who is required to cut interest rates. When they say required to cut interest rates, Kevin Warsh doesn't have to cut interest rates, but he wants to cut interest rates. He's talked about that before, and Trump wants him to. Trump would have not put him into office unless they were going to get that handshake, hey, we're going to lower interest rates, because we do need to lower interest rates. We do need to cut them. So it lowers the cost to borrow money. That's going to help businesses. It's going to help corporations, which I'm not a fan of corporations. It is what it is. But it's also going to help the average American, because the average American to borrow money, it costs a lot. They need to lower that, and that will also lower mortgage rates. 2000 stimulus checks back in discussion. Trump bucks. People have talked about that quite often. So again, last time we've seen, and again, I'm not a big fan of stimulus checks. The reason why I'm not a big fan of stimulus checks is because when we're talking about a stimulus check, it's kind of just like a bribe. It's basically your taxpayer dollars you pay, and they're giving you a little of that back. So for example, you pay $50,000 in taxes, but you get and that's everything with income tax and state tax and whatever you pay to the IRS, all of it. Okay. So, and your mortgage taxes. So basically you pay, let's say for example, $50,000 and they give you $2,000 of that back. It's just a bribe. But it does help a lot of people, especially when times are rough like this. U.S. government buying $200 billion in mortgage bonds, that is going to help the housing market. New $1.2 trillion bill funding signed into effect. I mean, basically injecting money into to where, God knows where. Trump is saying USD is doing great after 10% drop. That is absolutely ridiculous. But the reason why he's saying it's doing great because it's our native currency, but that's actually good for Bitcoin. That's good for precious metals, because we are intelligent enough to see that the value for the US dollar is going down. And so we essentially want to hedge with non-inflationary assets. Okay. And then they go on to say own assets or be left behind. Now, what does that mean? Owning assets or be left behind. So when we're talking about owning assets, we're talking about Bitcoin, we're talking about property, we're talking about any type of asset that holds value, precious metals, whatever asset you think holds value. Some people like Pokemon cards. I'm not a fan of that in any way, shape, or form. Some people like diamonds or gold or silver or platinum. It really kind of depends what you think is value. When I think of something with value, it's property. The reason why is because there's only a certain amount of land in the world. That is a finite asset. Bitcoin is a finite asset. Gold's a finite asset. Precious metals are finite asset. That's what they're talking about. So things are definitely going to get interesting. And if we do get some sort of, reversal in the markets, teeny tiny bit of this could be attributed to what's happening. But again, everything is still incredibly volatile right now. And we're entering into this brand new age. Jobs reports came in, which we'll talk a little bit more tomorrow. But I'm telling you guys right now, AI is going to be very, very important for you. It's going to be important for crypto. It's going to be important that you establish a solid foundation in crypto in life. Okay. I am not a big fan of AI. I think that it is going to further desensitize the world, humanity, especially in America, but it's coming. There's nothing that we can do to stop it. So what do we do with AI? Well, we look to the ivory towers. The ivory towers legally, they ethically and legally grift within the constraints of the law. So you need to do the same thing. And it basically, when I want to apply that to AI, just like we do with investing in crypto, you're investing your time into AI. You're investing your time into building something that helps you secure your job, create your own business, do tasks for you to where you can make money. And there's people that are building entire businesses with AI online, and it's incredibly complex. I don't really understand how it works yet, but it is coming. So just like we like to, the way that I first taught myself about Bitcoin and crypto, and I started to really learn this stuff, is I took about 10 minutes out of my day when I was at my day job, before I retired from healthcare, 10 or 20 minutes, and I would self-educate myself. I would read about Bitcoin, I would read about crypto, and I really, really do my best to understand. I would even Google terms that were in Satoshi's white paper just in general to understand. And you can do that with AI. And you can read about AI and you can use some of these different types of models. And then you can continue to build that education, that foundation on it. And it's important you teach your kids, obviously with oversight. I've got a 9-year-old and she can't be left alone on the internet. I would never do that. I know some of us that grew up in the early 2000s or when the internet first came out, we just had free reign of the internet and it was crazy. But paying attention to AI is going to be incredibly, incredibly important. Now, Crypto.com, they did announce the acquisition of AI.com, which is really cool. And it looks like they are going to have some sort of Super Bowl commercial. Great, fine, fantastic. But again, AI is going to be important when it comes to crypto. Why are we saying that? We're saying that because there's a lot of chatter on X about Claudebot and whatnot, and people are building their own AI agents that are able to do tasks, to do jobs, to do all these different things. And the currency that works with AI is crypto, because you can set it and forget it and program it, kind of almost like a smart contract, but different. Okay. These AI agents are machines and it's easy for them to understand code. And that's what crypto is. So you want to teach yourself about AI and you want to figure out eventually how to make money to obtain capital by utilizing AI. Because once you program it, it's kind of like a set and forget. Yes, there are operational costs. Yes, it's still brand new with creating offices and businesses and whatnot. Excuse me. But it's important you start learning now because you don't want to get left behind and you don't want your kids to get left behind. And people are actually even able to sell different types of courses. I'm not a big course person, but I know that's what people do. So that's also what's coming. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to the channel members. I got all kinds of stuff. A shout out to Lawrence. Thank you so much for the $10 chat. I posted on Instagram yesterday if you guys want to check. I took my baby to Magic Castle in Hollywood. They have during the daytime, it's for families and they have kid-friendly shows and like a brunch or whatever. So we had a great time. It's all geared towards kids. There's a bunch of kids there. Everybody had a great time. And it's invite only. So you have to know a magician to get in. I finally, after decades, got an invitation. So we went. It was fun. Shout out to Mr. Dale. Shout out to Bubba. Go Hawks. To Mr. R. To Neil Weston. To Gorgeous Julie. You guys make sure to go follow Julie. She's got a YouTube channel. It's actually linked down below on the front page of my channel. She's a wonderful human being. Adore her. Yeah, Dale. Hell yeah, Dale. Excuse me. Heck yeah. Lord's Day. Sorry. Seahawks. Anybody but the Patriots. Shout out to Dale. Thank you so much to Mikey for the $20 super chat. And thank you for being here and giving me your time. And shout out to CJ. I don't get to see CJ much on the lives, but he's here. He normally pops in on the comments and whatnot. So, all right, let's get back into it because I'm supposed to be chilled. It's supposed to be chilled. Okay. So, as far as Seattle versus the Super Bowl, I am using the channel. We are partnered with OG.com. Got the QR code up there. We got the ref link down below if you guys want to use it. If not, fine. But I am betting on the Hawks. All right. We've got, I am trading on the Hawks. We've got the money line. We've got touchdowns, all kinds of stuff. So this is what I've got going on over here, but this is what I'm trading on. And so we're very excited about the Hawks. Go Hawks. We are trading on them. And you guys know, a big Seahawks fan over here. Now, really quickly, I wanted to comment about this. The Financial Times put out a little bit of a hit piece on Bitcoin. Why is there an ambulance? We normally don't have ambulances in this city over here. But anyways, Bitcoin is still about $69,000 too high. This is an opinion. I'm not even going to bother reading it. You're going to see a lot of hit pieces like this. Okay. Now, right now, especially on the talk, There's a lot of misinformation regarding JE and the files and him being Satoshi, and there's a fake email floating around. It's just ridiculous. So there's a lot of FUD, a lot of drama, but those of you go watch that video. I don't really want to talk about it. It's just getting ridiculous. But people are saying it's going to go to zero. Bitcoin's not going to zero. If BlackRock was going to invest in Ethereum and in Bitcoin, it's not going to zero. That's just not, there's no way. There's no way big money would come in finally after all this time, after almost like 15 years and then whatever. But as far as the crypto markets go, it looks like Aster is up. DCR, I haven't seen that one in a while, which is good. But we're seeing really nice gains across the board. Not the best, but not the worst either. Right now, Bitcoin on the weekly, let's take a quick little look. So this is Bitcoin on, this is my other chart. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah. So right now we had a swing wick high to 78 or 80,000. We opened at 76. We're currently trading at 71 and we had a swing wick low to 60,000. Now this is incredibly bullish if we're able to close above the EMA 200 on the weekly. That's a target that we've been talking about for quite some time. Now, if we take a look at this chart over here, I've got all my lines. I got all my stuff over here. But I showed you guys when we had the drop, when we had the bear market in like the 2018 bear market dropped from 19,000 to like $3,000, an 83% drop. Then when we had the 2021 top, we dropped about 80% to about from 69,000 to like 16,000. And then right now, we are currently in a little bit of a bear cycle. And again, these cycles where we get the bear action, it's generally about a year. So technically we're still operating on a 4-year cycle until we're not. However, we have the institutions here, so markets might act a little bit different. Now, when we flip above, or if we can sustain above 68,000 where the EMA 200 is, that would be good, because both times over here in like 2018-ish, or excuse me, back over here, yeah, 2018-ish, 2019-ish, we drop below the EMA 200 on the weekly. Same over here from 2022 to 2023. And we'll see what happens with Bitcoin now. If we get an 80% drop, that would be 27,000. I'm not calling for that. I'm just giving you guys those numbers. But a $44,000 area might potentially be a local bottom between 53 if that does happen. But again, we're trading a little bit differently now because of who we have in the market. Now, when we do have altcoins and seeing what's going on with those, they don't look good right now. They don't look great. Solana, XRP, it dropped all the way to like 112, 113. Chainlink, ADA, all kinds of stuff. The altcoins are not looking great, but they will most likely rebound once the market rebounds, but it could get very, very, very brutal. We can see crazy lows that we haven't seen since the last bear market, or maybe even before. And there's going to be a lot of altcoins that will go away. The reason being is because of AI and the newer technology, and a lot of people just aren't interested in crypto. And one of the reasons why a lot of people aren't interested in crypto is because nobody's building products that people can actually use. That's been a problem in the industry for the entire time. So that's what we are seeing happen. It's not the funnest thing, but again, there's a lot of teams that have had really, 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 really good ideas. They just haven't been able to execute on those properly because number one, they're not hiring, they're not building out the right teams, and they are not paying attention to what consumers want. And the really cool thing about crypto the thing that frustrates me is that we see traditional finance, we see Web 2. Like I live on social media. I see people commenting all the time like, hey, we want old school Pizza Hut decor back. We want old school Taco Bell decor back. Like we want some of these old menu items. And it doesn't really cost a lot for these companies to do pop-ups or to bring back old menu items, but they're just refusing to do it. And even when we're talking about like the fashion industry and whatnot, people want certain designs back and they're just not doing it. And you hear your customers asking for something, but you're not doing it. And in crypto, we can say, hey, you know what? We have a really great crypto idea for this. We can transition this Web 2 business into Web 3, but make it crypto and listen to the customers. And I don't know why we don't do that. I don't know why we don't build things that people want. So that's what bothers me the most about crypto. But that's also why we won't see we're going to see a lot of projects fail and a lot of projects go away. It just is what it is. Even if you go back to CoinMarketCap, like 2017, 2014, you actually see what the top 100 crypto projects were. Like 99% of them aren't there, and just the way the world works. Now, as far as what Bitcoin is going to do during the game day, go Hawks. And I hope I hope my trades close positively on OG.com, because why not? But Seahawks are going to win because I'm wearing my jersey today. But as far as Bitcoin goes, right now, price is looking decent. I know I do if we focus a lot on the weekly, but I like to look at the weekly, especially when we're so volatile like this. But the fact that we had this really, really nice reversal that happened after that nasty drop from about 72 to 62,000, $10,000 dump in one day, which I haven't seen those in a while. Really, I'm looking to get a close above 69,000 support, which we can also see very easily on the weekly. And then if we can get a close above that, we should get a nice little reversal in crypto in general. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what Monday brings us. And other than that, I don't, hold on. It's all worthless pogs, no one cues. That's fine. Anyways, let's go Waterbirds, go Hawks, woo. Anyways, I'm going to go because I need to go do things because we got a Super Bowl party we got to go to today. I'm really excited about that. But anyways, you guys have a good day. I know it's a game, but again, start paying attention. Let's do this. They say you're supposed to read a physical book 20 minutes a day. So what I want you to do, I want you to do 10 minutes studying AI and 10 minutes studying crypto, and try to see how you can bring that together, either to create your own models, your own agents, or just to really understand how that works. Because maybe you might learn something that you can use in your regular job that's going to help you keep your job or help you thrive in your job or create your own company or earn passive income, whatever that may be. But anyways, that's where the future is going to be, and we will continue to cover it. Sending you guys love and light. Go Hawks, and to all the Patriots fans out there, it'll be okay. Don't be upset when we win. Okay, bye, babies.